You got him released after being on death row for how long?
6 years, 6 years, and you're right. It was pretty surreal. They did coerce the witnesses to testify falsely against him. And bizarrely, some tape recorded some of these sessions, so you hear this tape where the witness is saying, "You want me to frame an innocent man for murder," and I don't feel right about that. And the police officer is saying, "Well, if you don't do it, we're going to put you on death row too." And they actually did put the testifying witness on death row for a period of time until he agreed to testify against Mr. McMillan. Other witnesses were given money in exchange for their false testimony. But it was challenging because even when we presented all of that evidence and we presented Mr. McMillan's strong alibi, the first couple of judges said, no, we're not going to grant relief. It took us 6 years to get a court to ultimately overturn the conviction. And I think it speaks to this resistance we have in this country to confronting our errors, to confronting our mistakes. One of the really bizarre parts of this whole case for me was this whole episode took place in Monroeville, Alabama, where Harper Lee grew up and wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. And if you go to Monroeville, you'll see a community that's completely enchanted by that story. They love this story. They have all of this To Kill a Mockingbird memorabilia, the leading citizens enact a play about the book, and you can't go anywhere without encountering some aspect of that story made real in that community. And yet, when we were trying to get the community to do something about an innocent African-American man wrongly convicted, there was this indifference and in some quarters hostility. This is one of the few cases I've worked on where I had bomb threats and death threats because we were fighting to free this man who was so clearly innocent. And it just reveals this disconnect that I'm so concerned about when I think about our criminal justice system.
You have cousins who are police officers. Is that a healthy connection for you to have in the sense that you've seen a lot of police responsible for mistreating people who they have arrested? You were mistreated by police very early in your law career. Is it helpful to be reminded that there's a lot of really good people who are police, including your relatives?
Well, it is, but I actually am always mindful of that, even without that personal connection. I mean, we need law enforcement officers who are committed and brave and dedicated and hardworking and smart. If I had three professions, I would double the salaries of. One would be teachers, the second would be police officers and law enforcement, and the third would be social workers, because I think they play a critical role in a society that's devastated by dysfunction and drugs and racism and bias and poverty as our society. So I've always had that, and I meet people all the time, law enforcement officers, correction officers. In the McMillan case, one of the things that turned the case around was the appointment of two ABI investigators who just took an honest approach to the case and helped us show the innocence to prosecutors. So that's always been clear to me, that we need people performing these roles in our society.